All right, so we have finished our harvest. I'm going to put, well, I should probably fix this actually. So we're going to take this over to the fix station. I cleaned it up, but I forgot to repair the tractor and the planter. Not our harvest. We finished our planting. So I've got all the fields planted with oilseed radish now. It only took maybe another 30 minutes to do that field, but then I was dealing with some other stuff, so I left the tractor sitting. So it really didn't. It only took a half an hour to do that big field. This planter is a nice planter. This one and the Stara Australia are both really good. Are good for that kind of thing. So let's go ahead and fix this up, and we'll put it away. Let's go ahead and repair this. Yep. And we're going to tab over to our tractor. If I can I? Nope. Tractor's too far forward. So we'll put this back here. We're going to repair and remove the double tires on the tractor. Those are nice to have, but we don't need them. Yep. And customize. We're going to remove the double wheels. Bless you. Customize, yes. All right. And we can pack this away. So we've had a very successful day today. We've got the brewery and the malts facility starting to produce their goods, and we're going to run over tomorrow and check and see how that stuff is doing, which is the last part of this video, is the morning to check out and see how our facilities have done and what they need to continue producing. We may, I don't know, if I don't get a lot of beer out of the facility, we may buy another field by taking out a loan for the remainder of the field and then putting more wheat into the whole process. Or beer or barley, whatever's next door. I think it was barley next door. As long as he doesn't harvest it. He may harvest in the interim. I don't know when the neighbors harvest their stuff in this game, if they, in the seasons, if they do it like randomly or if they do it at the end of fall, how they pick and choose to do it. But if I buy that field, I'm going to want to turn it around and get oilseed radish on that field also. So we're going to go ahead and go to bed for the night because we've had a really good day today. Let's go ahead and sleep. And is it this? Is this door? Bed right here. And I would say our max is what, 14 hours? So we're going to go 11 hours. That'll take us to about 7 o'clock in the morning, I think. Ooh, slow down. It's got to process all that stuff. 4, 5. Oh, my God. And 7 o'clock. Yeah, 7, 8. Oh, 8 o'clock in the morning. That's pretty good. So there we go. So we're going to head out and head over to the factory. All right, we are ready to do some production here for the end of the video. But we're not going to end quite yet. We'll let it run a little bit longer than usual because I have some stuff to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to deliver 1 load of pallets. These are, I believe, the last pallets that I've made, and then I have to bring more lumber, and I think we're out of lumber. So I'm going to bring this in, and we're going to get 1 pallet here and then 2 pallets over at the beer facility. I stopped over at the brewery while my mom was on the phone with me, just kind of looking it over, and it looks like it doesn't really use. We took about, I want to say 8,000 or 10,000, maybe a little bit more malts over. And it's only overnight used like 5,000 or 6,000, maybe 7,000 malts, and it's used 20,000 wheat. So I have a feeling that we're going to end up selling a lot of malts, and I'm going to go that route. The more I've thought about it, I don't really want to buy more fields or buy more equipment yet. I don't think we're ready for that yet. So we're adding these Lear Palatin in, but we need to make some more malts. So let's go ahead and we're going to spawn the maximum number of pallets, which is freaking 10. God. Yeah, whatever. We'll spawn all 10 of them. I'm only going to take like 2 over. I'm just going to slowly feed our brewery because, once again, it's not using much malts, and we're going to run out of wheat. We're going to run out of wheat before we run out of malts. So before we run out of brains, yeah. So what I figure is we'll sell the rest of the malts off, just sell it as malts. And we'll use up what we have in the facility for the brewery this year. Next year we'll have a different plan. Now that we know how the brewery works more in depth, we will kind of change our tack to suit that. And that means we'll be producing more wheat and more barley and less hops next year. And then we'll see how we are. And then once that's done, hopefully we'll have a lot of money. I don't know what kind of income that we're going to be expecting from this beer. But between the beer and the malts, I would expect we get $200,000 or $300,000. If we get more than that, we'll have enough to buy another field, and we'll just do like. Simone just tried to punch me and hurt her hand on my shoulder of steel.
Ow!
Yes, serves you right. Didn't hurt me either. You're such a fidget. Don't give me that crabby look. Don't pinch the nips. The nips are off limits. All right, let's get this in there. All right, so I think I'm stuck. Well, like I said, I think oh, great. Well, I'm just going to shove it on there and we'll take it like that because we're just going next door. I think what's going to end up happening, though, is we'll probably need 1 or 2 more pallets of malts over at the brewery, and then we'll be done for the year this year. Next year we'll kind of ramp. Like I said, each year we'll kind of stage up production a little bit and get it a little bit larger. But we're going to grow organically. I really don't want to get in debt. I'm tired of paying. Every farm that we do, we take out debt. So I'm trying to do this debt-free. And so far we've been able to do that. I didn't press R, not E. Typing on the keyboard, it's a challenge, isn't it? Oh, it's not? There's my little Rambler, by the way. I drove over, keeping the realism up here. Let's go ahead and take our factory truck. Now, when we get to deliver the malts, we're going to have to, if you remember right, we have to take that forklift with us. So I've got, or the front loader with us. So I've got that other trailer that we bought to travel with that. And for once again, a forklift is a lift truck. I don't know where that came from. People have been picking on me for saying that, but it actually is a lift truck. I think the malts goes here. Yep, the malts and the pallets both go here, so we need to grab our brewery front loader. We'll walk over there and grab it. We're going to do it out there. Give myself a little bit more space to work here. We're going to leave the lights going on that so that people coming in off the road, if there's somebody driving in, they don't hit the truck. Lights on for safety. For those of you that don't know where that phrase came from, maybe some of my European viewers and stuff like that, they're in Pennsylvania, and actually anywhere where there's tunnels. In America, the law is that if you're going through a tunnel, you have to have your lights on. I believe it's against the law to not have your lights on when you go through a tunnel, but I don't think I've ever seen anyone get a ticket for that, but you probably could. But in most states, you have to have your lights on for safety. And so there's a big sign that says at the cave entrance, or at the tunnel entrance, cave. At the tunnel entrance, it'll say lights on for safety, and that's where that comes from. That's why I always say it. So I'm sorry that my channel's not more newsy. I watch a lot of these, I'm watching a lot of farms and people. They do all the things that I tell people to do when they say, how do I grow my channel? I'm like, do map reviews, do mod reviews, and, all that stuff. And the sad thing is I don't do it on my own channel. I just do, gameplay videos. I need to do more tutorials. I do tutorials, but I'm pretty bad about doing other types of... It's on for safety. All right, so there's our second setup of malts Palatine. Oh, forget it. Trying to get it to let go, and once again, our wonderful farm sim physics. These are things that they need to fix. Sticky forks. There we go. And we should have... Yeah, that's true. Moni's going to be doing map reviews on her channel, so she has started her channel back up. You'll notice that our name will be changing on the channel again back to Arthur Chapman, and hopefully she'll change hers from Fun and Laughter to Simone Chapman. That it's easier to find. You don't want to be related to me at all? Fine. I love you too. You're in a mood. Wiggle. Dang it. I just never get these on right, man. And this thing's harder because it's hard to be real precise with this loader because it's so large. But I picked that because I know the beer pallets can get really heavy. In my last experiences with a brewery, when I made the pallets, even with the front loader, it was making the front loader tip over. So I tried to avoid that with this one. We've got a really, obviously this thing's got a huge rear end. It should be heavy enough to keep that from happening. So I figured the little Manitou forklifts just weren't going to cut it, and I think I was right. It's really hard to tell. Like, depth perception is a thing. Down a little bit. And we'll pop that right here. Oh, and I can still taking it. I'm like, wait, no. So that should be, I'm hoping, that's probably all the pallets we'll need this year. And once again, I think as, obviously as the factory grows, the lumber output's going to have to grow. But hey, I got one almost all the way on. If I slam on the brakes, it should, nope. Dag nabbit. Okay, so we're going to put that there. And take Big Bertha over here, over to the other side. This thing is so freaking huge. I love this front loader. Once again, I love the little one, but I also love the big one. So now we're going to generate our beer palatin. Our beer pallets. See where they show up. We've got 65,000 liters, so that's our first. I don't know how much this will be, but maximum 13 pallets. There we go. And the beer, we still have 33,000. So we should get, I'm predicting, 13 pallets. We should get about 30 pallets altogether, which is not great, but so we can sell these today. Let's go ahead and take these to market, and we'll begin the Oktoberfest has begun. I'm going to grab our truck here. And actually, before we do that, we need to run back over to our parking spot and get our loader trailer, because we're going to have to unload the beer at our cell facility, cell point. Sweet. There we go. So now we have the full kit. Are the ramps up? Put those ramps up so we're not. There we go. Don't want to end up in the pond. Oops. Oh man, this is pretty narrow. We should, because it's a dolly, we should be fine, but we'll just run it right to the walls and we should be having no issues. There we go. No problems whatsoever. We did it. And so the season has started. Let Oktoberfest begin. The real trick is going to be using this to load these pallets on. And if this is overkill, like I said, if I'm finding that we can actually do it without this, I It might be easier to pick something smaller to do it with, but lower. Lower. These are not that heavy. So once again, remember how we downsized and saved some money? We might do that again with this. If I don't need a beast quite this big, I might just go to a smaller unit, because if I don't have to use giant front loaders. Once again, all the pallet experience I've had before with these beer pallets has been that they've been way too heavy. But maybe for 19, they've kind of ironed that stuff out, and we no longer have these super heavy. Because the hard thing is going to be doing precise motions with this. So let's do this. We're gonna take a little risk here, and I'm gonna lease just a regular front loader. When I say that, I'm talking about. Let's see here. We're gonna call the shop and say, hey, we want to lease this guy. Now, is this gonna have the reach we need, though? Eh, maybe not. I don't think this is going to get tall enough, because I'd like to double stack the pallets if possible. Our other option would be to go with the size smaller wheel loader that we've been using, the Sinus. I mean, this definitely has the reach. So let's do this. Before we buy one, we'll do this. We'll be a little creative here, because we have one that we can use just around the corner. So I'm just going to pop that here. We'll park our Monster Torian 1914 here. And like I said, we might be able to get rid of this too. I hate to get rid of stuff that's Claas, because it's Claas Farm. But it's overkill. If we don't need it, we don't need it. So there's no reason to keep something that's so large that we don't need. I've been doing all the other pallets with these guys, and they've been fine. But the beer pallet was the one thing that I've been worried about. So, new map? Yeah, I saw that. New English map came out today. What's it called? Charwell? Okay. No, Charwell. Charwell. Look at the title. Yeah, well, he screwed up. So right there, that tells you how good it's going to be. The guy's got the name wrong. He calls it Charmwell in the mod hub, and then Charwell on the thing. And it says Charwell again at the bottom too. Look. I hope you all like this Charwell. What is it? Is it Charwell or Charmwell? Oops, sorry, I was looking at that. Ow! Touch me not, lest ye be touched. Oh, she made a pouty face, sad pouty face. Oh, I could have left the forks over there. I would have been better off. What I need to get is, I want to see that, we want to try that CZ set and try like forks that are adjustable, because these are always like almost too big to fit in. And so I was wondering if those would do better. But they're also auto-loading forks, which I don't really want. I just want to do it like this. Let's see. Can this do it? It can. No problems. I mean, it is. Look at the back end, though. So I think that little front loader would have been too small. The little, the mini class, the Torian. Or not Torian, whatever it was called. But this is the right size for this process. This has enough power to lift and not actually be lifted off its wheels. But these are heavy, so what stinks is after all that year leading up, we're going to have 3 days of beer production, and then we're going to be out. You like the map already? Good. It does look very English. Charwell and Marwell. I wonder who he was copying. Yeah, there's still like Farm Sim 17. Are there two real? There is a real Charwell. That's pretty cool. Why did I do that? Okay, well, so we're gonna finish this and then we'll trade in that Torian and get another one of these, because that That does make a big difference. And so I'll load this up, and after I do this, I'm going to just see how they stack, and if they're stackable. And if they are, I could probably do 3. What I'm thinking is I'm going to do one in the middle. Oops. Yeah, that other one would not have been able to reach either. That would be our other issue. So the 3 high does well. Good. All right. So back this here. And there we go. Ta-da! So we're going to go ahead and put those straps on the whole thing. That way it's a little bit safer. Maybe the one on the front too, because that's... There we go. Beer strapped down. All right, I'm going to get the rest of this truck loaded, and I will join you guys again once that's finished. And I may trade this in already too. I'm going to do that. I'm going to take this back. So I'll go ahead and get that done, guys, and I'll see you once I'm done loading this up. I don't know what it is that's different about this front loader compared to the other ones. I think it's because the back wheel steers. But it is much less jumpy than the other front loaders. And I really like using it. I think it's because the back wheels steer, and it makes it just a little bit easier. Because see, I've hand stacked all these pallets, and it's super easy to hand stack stuff with this tractor because it's just, or with this front loader, because it's much smoother operating. The other ones just seem jerky, and this one just goes very smoothly. So I'm gonna double stack this. I messed that one up. I did mess that up, so I'm busy talking. Let's go and grab it and move it properly. No, don't lose it. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to put 2 of these pallets onto our the Fliegel because there's room for 2 back there on that front area instead of overloading the truck. There we go. Once again, I really like this front loader. It seems like it's much more precise than the bigger ones, which probably is true in real life too, like how these operate. There probably is a difference between the small and larger ones. Obviously, the smaller ones are going to have more finesse because they're just maybe not as powerful, but more accurate. Whoops. There we go. Get that up. So our first beer truck of the season is ready to make a run to the selling facility, and we should be able to hopefully make a serious amount of money off of this. In real life, it wouldn't be that much. It'd be like $100. What do they charge for a keg? Like $100. So we got $100 a beer, $5,000 a beer. That would be heartbreaking. But you can see here, I did trade in that larger Torian because I just feel like it's too jumpy and not needed. It was oversized for what we were doing. So now we're doing this though, and this is the right size. Like when we were playing on the Pleasant Valley map multiplayer on Friday nights, using the Torian for scooping, like using a 10,000 liter bucket and using that big Torian to scoop minerals, that's where it comes in handy, because then you know that weight would be too much weight for this little guy. But for that, front loader, it's not a problem. So, but yeah, this one a lot faster than I thought it would. It's been about a half an hour or less to load up the truck, and I was with talking and phone calls and all that good stuff. The one thing I have learned, though, is if you grab it wrong to begin with, it is hard to get it back to where it needs to be. So there we go. Hopefully that'll fix it. There we go. And if you do it right, it works well. But if you don't, then you have all kinds of problems. So let's go ahead and run this over to wherever we're selling it. I don't know if you know where this is going, but let Oktoberfest begin. Bring out the bratwursts and the fallow deer horns. And the large, very obnoxious farts from our wives. What was that? All right, so this is the moment of truth. Get the engine started. We're going to put the back flaps down. And I don't think this loads too wide. Get this guy loaded on because I think we're going to need to use this to unload the beer. I don't think we even need the wide load sign out for this because it's narrow. Okay, that's all loaded up. And let's go ahead and raise those rear platforms up, and off we go. We're on our way to where? I don't even know where we're going to sell this. Please do not turn your computer off. Bierfass goes to Stadion. That's going to be the train station. Or to Little. Excuse you. Wink, wink. So we'll sell this at Little. Prices are up. And we're going to have to look on our map and see where Little is up to the left. Okay. It's probably in town, I would imagine. Now, this is killing my frame rates, all these beer pallets. This is a very chock full truck. I think we're just going to ramp it. Come on, go, go, go. Yeah. It was a little more than I expected. I got a little bit of air there on that. I didn't want to make a turn while on that hill, though, so I thought it'd be good to get some running, but I guess it was a little too much because I did jump the truck. Oops. Thankfully, we didn't lose any of the load. And here we're going to slow down. This part of the map is a little bit unrealistic. I don't like these hills. Our front loader slid forward. That's a real thing, man. Even if they're strapped down, they still move a little bit, you know. When I towed that car on the back of that trailer, it did move quite a bit. It was a little frightening. That was in real life when we moved the Datsun, which has now sat in my garage for a year and had nothing done to it. So this is where they're going to sell. Let's go drive in and see if it'll start selling. Nope. So we're going to have to unload them pallet by pallet, which stinks. But oh, the back ones are unloading, so we'll do that. Those, because this trailer is lower to the ground. We'll sell those back too, right? No, nah, forget it. We'll just unload them. Shut that truck off. Ding, dong, ding, 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 ding. Okay, so. Oh, and I forgot to put the gates down. That's kind of important. There we go. All right, let's get to work. It's kind of a crowded spot to sell things, but oh well. Oops. I've broken the canister. The good news is that very little teeny bit of beer we sold was worth $400, so I'm hoping that we'll bring in some serious money with these pallets. You know, no guarantees, and the price will drop as I sell them, so we may have to deliver it to different places, but right now this is the highest paying spot, so set that down and kind of try to bring the next one over as quick as possible. Oh, come on, let go! Urgh. Thank you, Farm Sim, for your... The first beer is gone, and we've already made like $7,000. This is going to be good. Hopefully, I'm hoping that it unloads slow enough that I can... Nope, it's done. $10,000. So we'll get around $10,000 per pallet. So we had 13 pallets. That's $130,000. Definitely worth it. We won't get as much for the Malton. We'll get half price for Malton. But and we got pig food now too. So if we want to do pig food or piggies, we can. I don't really know. I suppose we could use piggies to make manure and slurry, and then use slurry on our fields for the other free fertilizer. Then we could sell. Oh, we didn't have to sell anything because we just wouldn't load our seeder with fertilizer when we fertilize. Oh, it went up. Hey. Oh, that's because there was more in there. What? Good. All right, so I'm going to keep selling these. I'll let you guys see the grand total when we're done. I'm very happy right now. Plus, we got money back from selling the larger front loader, so that's good news. So I'm going to go ahead and sell this, but this is looking good. Like I said, we have another probably $200,000 to $300,000 of beer that's still being produced. So we might have enough money to buy the neighbor's field and get some beer. What do you call it? The cans, like the beer, not cans, but I guess they would be either cans or bottles of beer, with using barley, because the neighbor's field is barley. We could buy that other field if we have enough money, which I think we are going to. So that's good news. So we'll continue making beer this year, and we'll do, we're doing the bongs first, and then not the bong. I'm not an alcoholic, so I have no idea what these things are called. The kegs, that's what they're called. The bong is, I think, what you drink it out of, right? That's when people want to get really drunk. So yeah, about $10,000 a pallet. I'm happy with that. That's good news. So next couple days, we're going to make a lot of money, and then that definitely more money than we would have made just selling the grain outright. So this has been a good investment. All right, guys, I'm going to unload this truck, I promise. All right, so we are finishing up here. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We've made some good money. I want to say about 100, we had about 220 something, 202, I think, when we started. And we are up to close to almost well, we got 340. I want to say we're going to end up about 345 when we're all said and done. And that was the first load of beer. There will be at least 2 more loads. So we're going to be looking at about the $500,000 mark, which will mean we can buy the neighbor's field and do even more beer. So I'm not going to sell any of our malts yet. I'm going to leave the malts as it is, and we'll sell the malts last, and we'll keep back a couple packets for next year. But seems like we need about 8 pallets of malts or 4 pallets of malts, 5 pallets for a year, if we're doing at this production level. However, as the production level goes up, obviously we need to make more malts too. But it doesn't use much malts compared to the rest of the ingredients. So we are done. Have a great night, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed this extended episode as we got into our Oktoberfest. It has begun. It is time to make money on the farm, and we have not taken out a loan, so we've done a good job selling some equipment that we didn't need. And not only that, but making over $130,000 from our first load of beer delivered from our brewery. So I'm very excited that went well, and I will see you guys next time on Farming Simulator 19. It looks like we got another year at least of this game, because 21 isn't going to come out until sometime in 21. Yeah, anyway. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up, boys, help, and we'll see you next time. Bye.